continues to be at an all-time low, and that's not going to change. We are witnessing the death rattle of the fossil fuel industry. We all know here that it's time for responsible governments with a vision to turn to renewable energy. And we know that's not the Liberal government of Canada. They have lied to us. We know it's not the Conservative government. Harper has lied to us. So we have to think differently about the federal governments that will lead this country into the future. And it's not the Liberals and it's not the Conservatives. Those are archaic thinking parties, and they still have the frontier gold rush mentality that the way to build an economy is to dig big holes in the ground and to transport toxic materials and to destroy the environment through the rampant industrialization of all of our homelands, and that is no longer acceptable in today's world. It is time for all of us to wake up and stop supporting the 1%, and it's time for us to look around and begin to support the 99% that are represented here today. So I think on June 18th, it's clear, regardless of what the decision is, whether it's to approve or reject or delay, that we need to cast our minds to the final chapter in this struggle. And that may very well be Burnaby Mountain Plus. We may end up in enormous numbers getting arrested. We may have to do things that a decade ago were unthinkable, but in today's world with the climate crisis and everything that represents, and what this economy represents to the poor, to missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, to those that are marginalized, to the fact that we have so many hundreds of thousands of good people living on the streets that are homeless. In regard to all of those issues, it's time for us to take a stand against the 1% and do everything in our power necessary to change this narrative, to change this picture. It's time for us to take our country back. It's time to do whatever it takes to take our country back from the multinational corporations, from the 1%, the hedonistically rich people in this country, and begin to distribute the wealth to those people that are in such great need. I just want to offer an acknowledgement. We got here just to hear Sven, and I agree, we need more Svens like that. With Svens like that, I think we can defeat our enemies. So it's good to see you all again. And I look forward to the days and months ahead. And again, whatever it takes, I agree with our brother Arnie when he was up here and talks about a change in tactics. And we need to know and understand all voices need to be heard. And everyone has a right, an absolute right to carry this fight forward, utilizing the gifts that we have received individually from our creators. We all have different gifts, different approaches, different voices. They all need to be respected, and combined together, we will defeat the enemy. Why? Lim lim.